My name is Tony Fernandez. I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana, but I currently reside in Jonesboro, Georgia. I'm a recent grad from Clayton State University with a major in theater with a concentration in costume design. I'm the youngest of 2 kids. My favorite color is blue, and I'm also a Virgo. Well, I like to think that Clayton chose me instead of me choosing Clayton, because I started out in college 9 years ago, well, 10 years ago now, in 2010. And Clayton ended up being my 4th collegiate institution, and it just came at the right time because I came in as a double major, triple minor, and it was all of the things that I wanted to do. So I just kind of came in and found Clayton and fell in love with it. So when I came to Clayton, I was a little overzealous, and I was, like I said, double major, triple minor, and my majors were theater and music, and my minors were dance, film, and psychology, because like those were all of the things that I love to do. And I already had my associates in psychology, so I just wanted to take a few more extra classes, you know. So, but over time I was here 3 years, so my 2nd year I ended up dropping all the music major as well as my 3 minors and just started to focus on theater, which I found out was my natural home because I'm able to do all of those things: film, dance, music, and even psychology, because you know, certain roles you have to learn certain things, especially when it comes to like the mind. So it was a match made in heaven, to say the least. Okay, so first, when I came to Clayton State, I came in as a senior because I transferred in. So that was kind of like in my department a natural leadership role, because when you come in as a senior, no matter if you're at a lower level of courses, anything like that, you still portrayed as a natural leader in your department. And because the music department and the theater department was so small, it was a natural thing on top of me being older than most people, because I'm like 5 years older than like most of the residents here and students on campus. So that was kind of like my start, and then I became social events chair of the music department's student organization, NAfME, which is the National Association for Music Education. And that was kind of like my first dip into leadership. And then fast forward to 2018, I became president of GSA because the wonderful Dr. Royal Baxter and my mama, Miss LaShonda Harden, actually gave me the opportunity to become president of GSA. And right after GSA, I also developed the 2nd leadership role on campus, which was I worked for housing as a resident assistant. So that gave me 3 leadership roles on campus, with being in all of those different organizations as well as working for housing. So it just started out as a little journey to kind of feel what a leader actually is and how to go about it, especially with being on a college campus with such a diverse group of people, because your leadership roles are different in literally every outlet that you have them in, so you have to kind of go about each position differently. So that was one of the hardest tasks for me as a leader, I will say, but learning that, it was pretty intense, and not in a bad way but in a good way, because I learned so much. For that, I would have to say I did NSLS, which is the National Society of Leadership and Success, because that also became around the same time as I became president of GSA. And that organization really just kind of trained me as a natural leader to like things like time management, organization, holding yourself accountable as well as holding others accountable. So that helped me really kind of get my ground with being that leader on campus. Another thing was I did the Diversity Leadership Institute in 2018 and 2019, and that also helped bring out a lot of the social aspect of being at a collegiate institution that is quite diverse, and when it comes to races, cultures, sexualities, all of that. So that kind of helped bring everything kind of full circle when it comes to how to go about dealing with a group of LGBTQ people, as well as just dealing with people that have specific disabilities, as well as religious issues and other race issues as well that people may or may not have. I've also I have a mentor who is actually a professor here at the school, Derek Van Meter. He's been my mentor pretty much my entire time here at Clayton, and he's also within the theater department has given me leadership roles, as well as, like I said, being a senior. I was kind of, the older one that kind of took the lead on everything and helped everybody out when help needed to be called for, as well as, just kind of reassuring that although you're a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, seniors go through the same stuff that we went through first semester when it came to classes, life things, as well as trying to find those leadership roles on campus and which ones are best for you. That's a good one. Time management was the number one skill that I had to now I'm not going to say perfect, because I'm still trying to perfect my time management, but time management, once you get a leadership role, is going to be the first thing that you have to learn, because being a student leader is a lot of work and it's really time consuming. So you have to be able to plan and schedule out your life to be able to get all of the business aspect of your stuff done, the school stuff, as well as making sure and sticking to your personal time to kind of just take care of yourself, because it is a really high impact environment to be in as a leader. So I would say time management, communication skills, that's also a really big one, because as a student leader, you have to communicate with different departments, different people. You always in contact with someone, whether it's a group of people, whether it's students, whether it's faculty, whether it's staff. You always kind of talking to somebody about something, whether it's an event, whether it's membership stuff, all of that. So communication is really a big one, just like time management. Another one I would have to say is delegation. I learned this kind of like the hard way, and because when you are you feel like you have to kind of carry this thing on your back, but as in the student organization, you have a executive board. Find out, with your executive board, find out who's good at this, who's good at this, and as president, you have to delegate. As a leader, you have to delegate. So you have to just kind of spread out the work so everything is just not on you, and that is also what is going to make your role as a leader easier, and then people start to see that and admire that about you, because you can be an effective leader. To me, those are the top 3 qualities. Challenges as a leader, I would have to say, first off, is learning how to navigate through certain things when it comes to being a student leader. Like for me, when I was working for my organization GSA, and we were having trouble when it came to a budget stuff. So it came to a certain point we had no budget, so I kind of had to figure out how to throw all of these events we had planned with literally no money, and I used the resources that the school gave me, so that's the way I figured out to fix it. We have different student organizations that thrive on helping you get promotion. They have organizations that if you need to get clothes for an event, for a performance, we have a student organization for that. We have many different student organizations, as well as department resources, that kind of helped me out and figure out how to navigate through a whole organization for a semester with literally no budget. And that was one of the most helpful things, is Clayton State has tons of resources for you as a student organization, even just as a student. So that I would have to say using my resources at the school would be like I said, the challenge that I had, and that was the way I solved it. A great success, I would have to say being able to do Pride Prom. Because that was one of GSA's like greatest things that we wanted to, be able to have a Pride Prom for people who didn't get the chance to go to prom, and kind of just dealing with that whole stigma of being able to live openly and free. But like I said, while I was president of GSA, I just really wanted to kind of push that being yourself. And Pride Prom, like I said, we want to make that one of the event that's every school year to kind of bring all of that togetherness in that community together and embrace everybody being themselves. Students should pursue leadership roles on and off campus because it's a really great way to develop yourself professionally, mentally, as well as educationally, because you can learn things. You learn so many things as a student leader. Like, you learn things about budgets, you learn basic politics, you learn all of these different things by just being a student leader on campus. And then outside, being a leader, like mentorship is one of the biggest things that you can use if you wanted to be if you want to be a young leader, because we need more young minds as leaders in the world. So mentorship is also another great way, because what is another great way to get a good message out as well as feed into the world by being a leader and mentoring someone that's younger than you, that may not know, that doesn't have all of the information and tools that you have because they're not at that stage yet, but you can help them along with it. As for advice to give current students, when it comes to pursuing that leadership role on campus, don't let your fear hold you back from it, because it is a scary thing to do, like once you find out you're in a leadership role, because it is so time consuming and you have all of this stuff that you don't know how to do. But you have people that you can go and talk to, ask for help. Never be afraid to ask for something if you don't understand. Another good piece of advice is when those times get hard, when you're dealing with a leadership role, for instance, if it's a student organization and you're having trouble, with e-board stuff, we've all been there. Just kind of push through it, figure out where the problem is, and, make an alternative. Don't try to harbor too much on when one thing go bad, or if you had an event and it didn't turn out as successful. It's like that sometimes, but just kind of don't dwell on all of the negative stuff that happens when you're doing a student organization, because if you dwell on the negative, just being a student leader, really, dwelling on the negative aspects of things is gonna make your process much harder. And you won't have as much fun and enjoying your position as much as you could, because you're too focused on negative things. What have I done? Well, since I graduated, quarantine, that was a thing. Quarantine body, it's almost here. But recently, like I said, graduated with my bachelor's in theater with a concentration in costume design. I'm actually working with Synchronicity Theater right now as a lead costume designer on the show. So, and it's really fun. I will make sure I get the details out to my Lakers, just so y'all can see the show. It will be distributed digitally. I got y'all. But just that I'm just kind of building my craft as a costume designer, as a makeup artist, hairstylist. Just kind of, I've been taking advantage of the quarantine when it comes to just building my craft. So, but then it pays off, because like I said, I just got this job opportunity and it's really fun. I'm really enjoying it. So y'all just, if you do everything you're supposed to do in college, pass. Focus. You got this.